John DeBenedictis with the Golden Goal Scoring course, which is a course that I put together over a number of years, and I've written a book called The Last 9 Seconds, which is based on my course. What I do in my course is I focus on the player's psychology in just the last 9 seconds before a goal scoring opportunity presents itself. And really that's the basis of the course. It's put in 3 parts. Classroom and field sessions. I've got to get to a certain section in the classroom before I go to the field in order to make it effective, and I try and work one-on-one with the players. And so far, the results have been quite spectacular. Well, that's a good one. Visualization is an important part. Seeing players score goals, any type of goals, not always the nicest looking goals. That's important. We want them to make sure that they don't miss the target. A lot of players want to overhit the ball, so we want to make sure that they hit the target. And also, our eyes play tricks on us. We can prove that with a number of studies, where what we see and what's really happening on the field is different. So if your visual senses see one thing, but it's not real in terms of what you need to do to score, you're going to make a mistake. And so that's what I try and correct in the course, and I do that in the lectures and on the field. Certainly, they're trying to overhit the ball is probably the number one mistake, where they just want to just bulge the net and just they want to be a hero, and they want to end up on the highlight reel. And you see that all the time. Players just want to overhit that ball. Other mistakes is sometimes they lose their focus and concentration on a ball. They let their opponents and goalkeeper get in the way when really it could be a simple decision on how to score. And players often want to do too much. Scoring goals, it can be simple. What I want to do is give the striker the confidence that they're going to score a lot of goals, because they do have to have some confidence. Quite often, strikers, they tend to be overconfident and then get down on themselves, and then they end up in slumps. And unfortunately, you don't score, and you're a striker. Next thing you know, they bench you. So it's a very stressful position, almost a negative position if you think about it. If it's a 1-0 game, which is quite common in soccer, and each team plays with 3 strikers, that means only 1 out of 6 players that might play in the striker position is going to score. So for the other 5, it's been a negative game for them. And even if there's 2 goals scored, 4 are going to have failures. Now what if a defenseman comes up and scores, a midfielder scores? More pressure on the striker. So it's a psychological game, because if they get down on themselves, some might never recover. Certainly positioning of where to aim and things like that. Quite often players make mistakes in where they're aiming and what they need to do before the ball comes to them, where they should run to, where goals come from. Quite often they don't come from where we think they come from. We're all thinking that most goals are scored, from 35-yard blasts, and that's not always the case. So there's a number of areas that in my statistics I bring it right back down to the simplest level. I want the striker to think that they're going to score all the time, because I know these special secrets, and they're simple to correct if they get their mind behind what I'm trying to teach. Yeah, I think sometimes we forget that you can't win without scoring. A lot of coaches have the philosophy, don't let them score, and maybe we'll score, but you may get that chance that wins you the game, and if you're not spending enough time as a coach working on certainly the psychology of scoring, then maybe you might, you've done all this work to bring the ball up, switch the play, create a chance, and that 1 second where that player has to touch the ball and put it in the net, if they make a mistake, you might lose the game. And I don't think sometimes coaches, and sometimes they don't have the time, because they got to deal with 11 players and goalkeeping and all different strategies. So, but psychology, I think, is an important part. And we're just looking at that very last 9 seconds, what's going on in the mind of the player.